Visit ccgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In this video, I'm looking forward to play with a Granbull Magcargo deck. This is a deck list that appeared in Japan like a month ago. In Japan tournament, one Japanese player managed to enter the top 16 with this build, and yeah, I think he was like maybe on 10 or 11 place, maybe even 7th place. I can't remember, so sorry for that. But the good thing about this deck is that it's a 1 energy attacker, and it's just a prize attacker that can hit for tons of damage. If we have no cards in our hand, then we can hit for like 160 with the all out for 1 energy card, and that's amazing. Good thing about Granbull is the fact that it also has minus 20 resistance, which is amazing. So, what's a good thing about Granbull versus Zoroark? Pretty much resistance. Zoroark can go for like 120, and with 140 with Kukui, but still not enough for a knockout versus Granbull. They're still gonna end up with 10 HP left. In that scenario, even Hasselbent deck wouldn't be that bad in this build. I'm not sure why that player didn't maybe take one Hasselbelt. Probably because in Japan Zoroark is not that popular. That's just my personal opinion. So Granbull compared to some other Pokemons in the current format, with All Out you can one-hit knockout Buzzball. You can one-hit knockout with Shrine of Punishment in addition to Choice Band, Lycanroc. Between turns you can also one-hit knockout Zoroark GX, which is amazing. Speaking about some other Pokemons that could be potentially popular, now we have Rayquaza. It can be one-hit knockout. We have what else we have that's popular in the current format? We have Necrozmas, also can be one-hit knocked out anyways because of the weakness. And what else we have? We have Shining Lugia. Yeah, it can be performed pretty quickly. We have Giratinas as well. So yeah, a lot of potential. This deck might struggle about a little bit about those damage spread decks, but overall I kind of like it, and it's pretty cool. So in addition to Granbulls, we also have 3 copies of Mr. Oranguru. So with Instruct, you can draw 3 cards. You can draw up to 3 cards in your hand. And 2 more Cargos with Smooth Over that allows us to once per turn search a deck for a card and put it in the top deck, and then we can simply pick that card with Instruct. And there's also one Ditto with Almigity Evolution. It's probably not that, but anyways, with some sort of evolution ability that says once during a turn, you might put any stage 1 Pokemon card from your hand on this Pokemon to evolve it. You can't use this ability on your first turn. So it's basically our 5th Granbull, but it can also serve as a Slugma, for example, which is pretty cool. And that's it from the Pokemon cards. No GXs, which means this deck will just trade 1 price for potentially 2 of them. Energy Recycle System is a first deck that allows us to grab 1 energy from discard pile, or maybe shuffle 3 of them in our deck. 1 copy of Field Blower. It's interesting how many searching cards this deck contains for the Pokemon. 4 copies of Great Ball, 4 copies of Nazball, and 4 copies of Ultra Ball, which can easily be explained because you really need to have options to burn your hand in order to get 0 cards, so you can use All Out. But it's also very important to be able to set up with this build. There's also 1 Mystery Treasure. Why Mystery Treasure? Probably you're gonna wonder. It's here mainly to burn 1 card from your hand. That's it. You can always play Mystery Treasure and fail to search your deck, so that's the reason why. As well as 2 copies of Lost Blender. Why Lost Blender is good? Because you can discard 2 cards from your hand in your Lost Zone, and then you can draw a card. For example, if you have specifically 2 cards in your hand and Lost Blender, you can use 1 Instruct, right? And then you're gonna have 3 cards in your hand, so then you can play Lost Blender. Okay, what we're gonna do next? We're gonna play Magcargo, for example. If our bench space is full, then we're probably gonna grab ourselves some sort of like Great Ball, for example, as a top deck, or maybe probably Great Ball. And then we're gonna play Lost Blender, burn 2 cards from our hand in the Law Zone, drop that Great Ball, play Great Ball for nothing, and then still we're gonna have 0 cards in our hand for that all out. So that's a pretty cool combo. 4 copies of Rescue Stretcher as well, card that can be easily played for something. 4 copies of Ultra Ball, I mentioned it. 3 Shrine of Punishment, so 4 extra damage between turns, makes sense. That I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Whew, yeah, and then we have those Apricorn Makers, 4 of them, also very good card because it also allows us to search a deck, for example, at any time, in any moment for Ultra Ball that can be then easily used as a discarding hand tool. So with the Ultra Ball, we can again discard some cards from our hand in order to get 0 cards so we can use all out. We also have one Diantha, which is a very cool tech for this deck, which says that when one favorite Pokemon was knocked out, we can put 2 cards from our discard pile in our hand. Then this deck also contains 3 copies of Guzma, 1 copy of Tate Liza. As you can see, not too many draw supporter cards, right? So this deck contains only single draw supporter card, which is a Tate Liza. And that's just mind-blowing, you know, because you have so many discarding options available and Orangurus, and that's the reason why. What else we have here? We have bodybuilding dumbbells, ×1, 3 copies of Choice Band, and 7 fairy energies, and that concludes this deck list. So yeah, that's the deck list I'm going to use in this video, so make sure to hit the thumbs up, sub the channel for more videos, let me know in the comments below also what you think about it. So let's do some game tests so you can see it in action, so see you in the game. Alright, so playing with the Granbull deck, an interesting fairy deck that made appearance in Japan. It actually managed to enter in top 16, so it's not that bad deck in my opinion. The opening hand is not something special, but it's also not something bad. At least I have Guzma available. Fairy deck. Alright, so looks like I'm gonna play against some sort of disruption here. Sylveon GX already hits the ground. What do we have here? We have Apricorn Maker for some things like I can search my deck for 2 of them. I thought there would be 3 of them. Yeah, it would be too broken, I guess. Anyways, Nazball. So I'm gonna get 1 Snubbull on the bench. What if I throw out Ultra Ball with Oranguru and Energy for Slugma? Alright. Really want to put another Oranguru as well on the bench. That's going to be Energy Attachment. And Shrine of Punishment play, then instruct for some extra cards. Choice Band. Yeah, we can do that. Why not? Second instruct, gonna bring me maybe something. Well, not bad, another Snubbull. That can work perfect for the next turn. Alright, so Shrine of Punishment, force my opponent to get, or to take 10 damage counters. Alright, there's double Course Energy and Cynthia. So, Ribumbi says that with Honey Gather once per turn, you can search a deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them and put in your hand, which is pretty good card in my opinion, especially for that trio deck that I'm also going to cover in future. Alright, so he searched himself deck for 1 energy, Fairy Wind, unfortunately not enough for the knockout, just 110. What a nice top deck. So if you have no cards in your hand, then you can basically strike your opponent for 160. Unfortunately for now, I have some cards available in my hand. But who knows, I might get lucky with 1 Ultra Ball after that instruct, we shall see. Or maybe not. I guess I can play one more Instruct. Maybe I can have more luck right now. Let's see. Or maybe not. Still I can hit for 30, so I guess it's not that bad. Anyways, so so far not that bad. At least next turn with Apricorn Maker I can grab myself some resources, potentially. Guess I can go with one Snubbull and one Ultra Ball, and then I can have 0 cards in my hand, which can help me to go for like 160 plus 30, 190, 220, 230. It will be enough for the knockout. It should be. So 160, 190, 10 from the shrine. Yeah, it should be enough. Oh, so he didn't even have enough for the knockout in this case. Oh, lost blender. Okay. Guess I'm better gonna go with Ultra Ball and with one Great Ball. Alright, so with the Ultra Ball, I guess I can throw out Lost Blender and Apricorn Maker in order to grab myself a Magcargo. And do I need anything else specifically here? I guess I don't. I just need to waste the last card from my hand, which is a Great Ball. And I have more than enough resources for the knockout. The top deck card with the smooth over should be some sort of the Ultra Ball, for example. Even Diantha is not that bad. Actually, when I think twice, it's maybe better. Alright, so all out, and I'm striking for a heavily amount of damage, 190. That's insane. Very Snubbull, not bad. So meanwhile, Shrine did some damage also to that Sylveon. There's another Snubbull. Okay, so great, powerful Snubbull doing so many damage. And there's the Fairy Wind for like 110. The top deck should be and will be Diantha, so I can take any 2 cards from my discard pile and put them into my hand. Why not? Rescue Stretcher, for example, and Choice Band. Sounds like a really good idea. So, shuffle back 3 cards. Actually 3 Pokémons. Then I can use another Smooth Over, which needs to be a Granbull as the top deck, so I can be 100% positive that the next turn I'm going to have another attacker available to do some damage. There we go with the All Out, so hitting for 190. Taking 2 more prize cards, so Rescue Stretcher and a Guzma. One thing is for sure, I can't throw out my Rescue Stretcher. There's a Choice Band, a Judge. Okay. Alright, in this situation, I'm not gonna be able to deal more than like 30 damage, so this might stop me for a little bit. Or maybe not, it'll depend on the top deck. I guess it will stop me for a moment, so Smooth Over. I think I'm gonna go with Apricorn Maker as a top deck, so I can grab myself 2 Ultra Balls for the next turn. And we're going all out once again for 30. Alright, so since I had just 4 cards in my hand, even by discarding one of those cards from my hand, which was the energy card, I still wouldn't be able to go on with my Oranguru anyways. So that's a big deal. What he can do, he can evolve into Curlia. Alright, and he hit me for like a 30. Unfortunately, no sign of the rare candy Gardevoir. Even with the rare candy Gardevoir, that would not be even enough for the knockout. Maybe with another Secret Spring would be, but overall in this case it won't be. So Apricorn Maker for 2 copies of Ultra Ball. So first things first, Ultra Ball for 1 Granbull, so I can have another Granbull available on my bench, so I can deal some damage with him. On the upcoming turn, another copy of the Ultra Ball just for nothing. Obviously we need something as a top deck with a smooth over, right? So I guess I can get on the top deck Lost Blender, which is not a bad option at all. I could even go with a Guzma, for example, but I guess I don't need Guzma. All out once again for 160, and I'm looking forward what my opponent can specifically do in this case. One thing is for sure, I really want to use advantage of my Lost Blender so I can put Great Ball on the top deck, and then I can throw out, then I can throw out any card which I will draw with my Oranguru. Okay, so what do we want to do here for the one-hit knock? We want to first use one Instruct, grab third card in our hand, then with Magcargo do something like Smooth Over for a Great Ball, and then we can Lost Blender 2 cards from our hand in order to grab a Great Ball, and then with that Great Ball I can simply fail to search, so I can have 0 cards in my hand, and then I can simply one-hit knock on my opponent routes, but he decided to end his turn before I even had a chance to do that, so overall that's it. That was a quick GG. And once again, there's the full deck list that I use in this video. Granbull, very powerful attacker, which can hit for 160 with just a single energy card, or for like 190 if we speak about GX or EX Pokemons with a choice band attached. Also, some damage can also be increased between turns with a Shrine of Punishment, so overall, pretty powerful and cool, and also strong deck that can be used in the standard format. It's also not that super expensive. The most expensive cards in this build are going to be Shrine of Punishments and Oranguru, but overall, looking at this deck at this moment on your screen, you're probably not going to pay more than like 50 bucks for an entire deck, which is amazing. So if you really want to play on competitive level, you can potentially use this deck and play with it and have a great success with it for like 50 bucks, which is amazing in my opinion, compared to some other heavy expensive cards like Rayquaza GX, which is just 20 bucks by itself. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, so make sure to hit the thumbs up, sub the channel for more videos, let me know in the comments below what you think about the deck list. Have a nice day, as usual, until the next time, so we'll see you next time.